Well, a warm welcome all to Pro Billiard TV and the 2026 Predator Euro Tour, our first of the year, and we're at the Miracle Resort Hotel in Antalya for this Turkiye Open, and it's 8-ball, and will you join us for the last 16 matchup in the women's event. And well, one player needing no introduction, Yasmin Ushan, taking on a home hopeful, Sinem Kokten, who we have seen on the TV table yesterday. And bringing this match to you, my name Gethin Davis, and my good friend and colleague joining me in the box for this one is Graham Hickman. Welcome, Graham.
Hi, Gethin. Hi, everyone. Yes, we're getting to the business end, aren't we, Gethin? Trying to close out the last 16 matches for the day. This is the last match of the day. Be interesting to see how this one unfolds. Obviously, Sinem, maybe accolades-wise, not as well. Yasmin really is in a league of her own in terms of accolades, but Sinem does have a handful of medals from the Seniors European Championships and clearly can play. But yeah, as we know, Yasmin is generally the woman to beat in these events. She's just so strong. An 8-ball. I don't know about you, Gethin, but I definitely think it's one of her strongest games. She's so good in the balls, especially pattern play, and yeah, she's very hard to beat in 8-ball. She won the European Championship 8-ball as well, and multiple other titles. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I got to commentate on Sinem's match yesterday, and she was up against a tough pole, but for the opening few racks, she played super strong, really good potting, and unfortunately Katarzyna just running away with it in the end. So if she can get her break working, I do fancy her to give Yasmin a real good run for her money. But taking a look at the table right now, she's come up with a dry break.
Yeah, and pretty much really the only option is solids. I mean, the stripes aren't too bad as well. There's a combination down the rail. There we see that 6 and 7's kind of close by, but she's coming around trying to get rid of that problem ball straight away, and that one in the top right corner, Gethin, that's a great shot. She can play a little stop shot here, get rid of that green 6 ball, I think, and that will open this rack up very quickly.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we'll all need to just keep an eye out for. She is very quick at spotting the problem areas on the table, and all focus goes on getting to them as quickly as possible. And as you said, picking this green 6 off. The 7 is actually available to both bottom right and bottom left pocket as well. Great opportunity for her here.
Yeah, it just becomes personal preference, but 3-ball there you see next to the 8 does go in the left centre, probably the only pocket it goes in really, so she could opt to play that for one of her last balls. Pretty straight on this Gethin, so she's going to probably have to come back maybe to around about the centre pocket area, try and work something with the remaining 4-ball and 2-ball. But yes, very good shape here. She's going to have to take the one over the side now. So that 3-ball probably going to be the last ball Gethin, I think. Unless she's got a little bit of angle. Can she come and get on it now? Yeah, she can make that work with a bit of right-hand spin if she wants.
Sneaking it around the 10, you mean?
Yeah, I think it's logical because she doesn't have the best angle for the 4. So coming down for that 3, she can roll it through if she's straight on the 3 as well. I like that option. Yeah, any kind of angle he has works as well. So as long as she wasn't low, she can roll this through and, well, play in the top right corner if she chooses. Where does the 8-ball go? Bottom left maybe, Gethin? Or one of the sides?
Well, that was going to be my question. Depending on the angle she gets on the 2, if she could roll through enough. It does pass the 5 into the bottom left. How's the angle?
She's okay. She can just draw this back. 8-ball flies in the right-hand centre as well, so should be no danger. She doesn't want to get too close to the balls on the side. I think she might still be just fine though. Well, that's why she's played it that way. Gethin, she was drawing towards those two balls. She didn't want any handbag queuing at all. So basically just said, yeah, I'll take a bit of a cut on this 8.
Yeah, makes it very well. And in this Euro Tour format, it's 2 breaks per person. And with Sinem winning the lag, she will get her second of her 2 breaks and an opportunity to get herself on the board and then ask a question of Yasmin's break. But you feel if there were another mistake to make, Yasmin's waiting to pounce. In regards to the last 16 of this women's event, 4 players are already through and they are matched up. We'll have Daria Siranchuk taking on Chantal Stadler, and an all-German affair, Miriam Steiner taking on Pia Filler. Miriam winning the European Team Championships with Ina Kaplan. But back to the home hopeful Sinem Kokten to break. The second of her 2 breaks, Graham. And I don't think anything's threatened a pocket.
No, it hasn't. And I think what you tend to find is the power of maybe some of the women breaks. Maybe I say that well, Yasmin is probably the exception, to be honest. I think she has probably the most powerful break in the women's game. It's really, really advantageous in the 8 ball, and you'll often find that she does make a lot more balls than others. But a lot of women tend to go for more control break, which has upsides and downsides. As you see, the layout's not too bad. It's just the opening shot really here, but it looks like solids again, Gethin.
Yeah, the 2 and the 1 are dressed up quite nicely for a combination up in the top left if need be. This is a tricky opener into the side pocket on the 4. Let's come around the 14 and the 9 nicely. Leaves the long 5.
Yeah, still a little bit of work here though, because I think that 7 ball, she's just looking. I don't think it goes in the bottom left. I mean, if it does go in the bottom left, that will change everything, to be honest, Gethin. Because she can just stun this 5 forward a little bit. Maybe play for the 6 in the side if she wishes. Well, she's drawing it a little bit, so that might tell you maybe it doesn't go. Bit of a squeeze up the rail, this one. Oh, great shot.
Yeah, popped it over nicely. 7 in the side pocket will be the call here. Just wondering on the angle if she'll avoid the 14. Possibly.
She's a bit off angle getting out for me. I think she might have to just stun this, keep the cue ball a little bit down table, take the 6 ball in the opposite middle. That might have to be the route. Keep it simple. Yeah.
The 2 does actually pass the 1. It's got an open pocket up to the top left, if that's what she's forced to play for here, because you don't really want to be doing too much with that 6 into the side pocket.
No, they're quite acute, aren't they? And these tables, these arc tables can be a little bit brutal if you put any kind of pace from that angle. Could be a similar shot here, Gethin. Just take the medicine, hold the cue ball somewhere around where the green is now, and like you say, the 2 in the top corner, finish off with that combo. Take the 8 ball down in the bottom right. That would be a few shots ahead. That's pretty straight. So the question here, Gethin, is if she does pot the 2, can she play a bit of a stop shot? And then can she pot the 1 and draw around the 3 instead of playing the combo? That might be a good option. Depends how close that 1 is to the rail, really, if that's possible.
Yeah, she has played the stop. That will leave her that angle. Not much gap to manoeuvre the cue ball around the 3. Would ideally like to be able to go that route, otherwise she's going to have to come up and down the table. And that could be fraught with danger.
Yeah, she might be playing the combo. That tells me that look, she's not straight enough on the one, so just a little thin. Oh, that's not ideal. This is now tricky because that 14 ball, I think, just the left of the 8 ball could come into play here. Gethin, this is, I don't think she can hold this. She might have to go up and down.
Yeah, catching that 3 a bit thinner may have just left it off the rail, but it's locked against the short rail. Oh, she's played that so delicately. A little bit of drag.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the right shot. I don't know if that was actually on. She tried to, like you say, kill the cue ball, but from such a thin angle, it's so easy to do exactly what Yasmin done there. Just catch it thick. For the Turkish fans here, it's presented a good opportunity for Sinem to get a bit of table time, and well, the balls are wide open with no real problems getting, so this is a great chance to get your arm going a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, and well, Yasmin clearly didn't want to take the cue ball up and down the table there for obvious reasons. But reflecting back on the match that I commentated on for Sinem, these were the opportunities that she was able to take. Now, if the 15 passes the 10, that might be better for her here, because the cue ball's just finished in a little bit of a no man's land of somewhat.
Yeah, I like that call. I fully agree. I definitely prefer this shot versus the other one. Still both makeable, but maybe it's tighter than we think, I think. That's the only reason I could think, because she's got quite good angle. She could punch it off the long rail and then play the 10. Surprised taking this much time on it, so maybe it is tighter than we think.
Oh, she really wants to take the 15. She's had a good look at it. Looked like she was going to get down to that shot, but has gone against it. Played that well, took a chunk of the 8. It's okay.
That's still okay. Well, this is going to work out nice. We're going to take that 10 ball last. The 15 in the side. Nice connecting balls. Any kind of angle on the 10 or even straight will still be fine for the 8 ball. But these are the kind of chances that you have to take when, I guess, when Yasmin presents them, because you're not going to get that many. I think she'd love to have that 3 ball back and maybe go up and down the table like we thought.
Well, that's a very good point, Graham. At this level, you're not going to get many chances from your opponent, especially playing the likes of Yasmin. And this is exactly what she needs to do. You have to say a great response to Yasmin taking the first of her breaks. Oh!
Wow.
I spoke too soon.
I mean, that's not just a mistake, I think that's an absolute huge blunder there. That 10 ball was as easy as it comes. Such a big pocket. I think she's thinking about trying to leave the easiest of 8 balls, and I think she just took her eye off the ball completely, thinking, it's not one of those shots where you just think, I can't miss this. Just focus on the position. And she's actually, well, Yasmin didn't get into that as much as she would have liked, but wow, what a big moment already in this match.
Yeah, that's a big moment. 1-1. It's not a bad result from your own break, because Yasmin will come to the table now with 2 breaks in her hand, and she has made the 8, so it's a big difference, 2-0 to 1-1, Graham, and well, Sinem just not able to take a point off of her 2 breaks, and we'll see how Yasmin is now breaking, because if she's got her break working, Sinem could be in early trouble here.
Yeah, and this is where the break format really does come to the surface, because Sinem won the break, she actually has 4 of the first 6 breaks. Sounds like a strange thing to say, but because it's race to 7, those breaks are really important, especially winning the lag. She's already lost 2, and like you say, we'll get a chance here to see the power from Yasmin if she does just choose to do a power break. Just trying to compare. She does have very good technique and can really generate quite a bit of speed, and she's trying to get those 2 balls in the sides from below the 1 ball. That's the objective. There you see, look at the power getting straight in the side. What a break. Such a difference. That's why she's hard to beat.
Good control of the cue ball as well. It did start to track over towards the centre pocket, but never with enough premise in it. She really did check that cue ball up nicely. Got ball down. And I'm having a look around at the table. If that stripe does pass into the bottom left pocket, that may tempt her.
Yeah, she's just so strong, and I mean, well, you don't win the 8-Ball World Championships not being good at 8-ball getting, do you? So it's very much one of her favourite disciplines, I think. Her and her brother Albin is also very good at 8-ball. I mean, in terms of breaks. Sorry, Gethin, I was saying in terms of breaks, does it really get much better than this? Not a single ball with any kind of problem. Perfect.
No, and in fairness, Graham could have gone either way, solids or stripes.
Yeah, that's when you know you've hit it well, and you can take either options and run the table. It all comes down to personal preference, and probably comes down to where the black ball is and where the last ball in your mind. It's generally how players look at the table. What is the connecting ball to the 8-ball? How can I make it as easy as possible to win the rack? Kind of work back from there. Sometimes can be the deciding factor. Well, the 8-ball doesn't go on the bottom left, Gethin, so she will have to roll this through. See what kind of angle she can leave on this last stripe in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, good spot, Graham. So Yasmin just took a walk around just to check. Best line for the cue ball. I think it's the 15 perhaps. Oh, or you could just do that, Graham.
Well, I don't think she played that, to be honest. I'd be very surprised if she did, because the solid was quite away from the pocket. So, as you see, she's landed in that funny angle. If that 8-ball didn't go on the bottom left, she'd have to go high and leave a bit more distance on the 8. But now it does go. She could choose to drop this in, or she could play it with a bit of check spin. Try and come back across. I do like dropping it in, to be honest, but hard to tell how much angle she has from the camera. She's trying to play the check. A little bit on the 50-yard line.
Yeah. We'll get the extension out on the cue. Yasmin made the final of the European Championships teams event in an absolute thriller of a final.
Yeah, was it not back-to-back shootouts? Oh, she's missed.
Yeah.
Oh. She had a shootout last year, I think, in the final where they won, but they also had a shootout in the semi-final this year. And then was it a shootout in the final again, or did Germany
it was. Yeah, and they were up on the hill in both matches. The Germans came back 1-1, lost the other. I think it was to Yasmin winning that one, and yeah, sadly lost in the shootout. In fact, one of the Germans has already booked her place in the quarterfinals. Miriam Steiner So Yasmin's been going deep pretty much everywhere she goes.
Yeah, and I do recall, I think I was doing the commentary on the men's and we had a very unique moment, not something you see every day. I think the remaining 4 matches all went hill-hill. It was quite something. Oh, where's cue ball going? Well, is this 8-ball potable? If it's not, Yasmin could be going off one long rail here and try and kick this in. Or she might even, she could try to play it cushion first with a lot of left getting. What do you think? She's looking at the one rail as well.
Well, coming over the 3, I think she's going to have to put side on it, which is going to make that a trickier shot. If you're going to have to put side on it, I like the one railer. This probably percentage-wise better.
Yeah, even rail first. She's missed it though by quite some way. Well, another chance.
Yeah. We have to say, a clever shot from Sinem there. Was a bit unfortunate to not get the safety, but when the cue ball ended up, did leave it a bit too tough for Yasmin, and now ball in hand.
Yeah, Yasmin, such a fierce competitor. Little shake of the head there. Irrelevant that she missed the black. Okay, she's annoyed that she didn't pot it there, but she'll still be stewing a little bit from the previous missed black. 1 ball left on the table. Position on the 8-ball should have been straightforward, really. A little bit annoyed. Interesting. Sinem's going this way. No need to take this 3 in the bottom right corner. Surprising. Maybe because it was just perfectly straight, she took the opportunity. So there's quite a few connecting balls up the top of the table.
Yeah, I took a little bit of a raised eyebrow at that choice, but yeah, must have been straight. Worth getting it out of the way. Doesn't want to finish too straight on this 7 though.
Yeah, and she has a little bit. She'll have to punch this. Oh, she's going to run it forward. She might have a little bit of angle. Needs to put a little bit of spin on this. Let the cue ball run a bit. Don't want to be short. She'll have to be pretty straight. That's pretty good. Might just be a little stop shot getting. Leave a nice angle. Just stun over for the last one down the rail. That would be the most logical route.
I'm staying quiet for a reason, Graham. The last time I started to call her rack, she made a real terrible miss. So, leaving her to it here, Graham.
Yeah, straightforward. Well, if she misses this one, I'll be very surprised. This is as easy as it comes, so she can just stop shot this. Just to leave an angle, rather than, I mean, you could always run through the short rail as well. Just don't want to be straight and on the rail on these kind of shots, so either go all the way down to the rail or pull it back. She's fine, just as long as you're not on the rail. Yasmin will be a little bit annoyed. She could have taken a 3-0 lead then, put real big pressure on Sinem. Still got another break, but missed chance there.
Definitely a missed chance, and I did like the way you said that Yasmin will have a little stew over that. She will now come back to the table with her second of her 2 breaks, and we'll get to see if that stewing has proven worthwhile or not. As I just take a look over in the background, you will have seen Daniel Maciol of Poland. He's in a matchup against Roman Hibler over on our TV table 3. Daniel's leading 3 racks to 1. On our other TV table, table 1, Wojciech Szewczak is in a tussle with Petri Mäkinen of Finland. And Petri is 3-1 up in that match. Again, last 16 of the men's. If you want to keep updated with the scores, they're all live, updated, play-by-play on EPBF.com. Back to Yasmin's second break. leading 2 racks to 1 in this race to 7.
Wow, it's amazing how pool works, isn't it, Gethin? I feel like, I didn't want to say it when she was breaking, but you kind of just feel that the pool gods punish you for making mistakes, and well, she maybe put a bit more venom in that break. With not saying it was frustration based, but maybe she just thought, give it a good whack again. Lost the cue ball though. It's a pretty good break for ball in hand. Both present opportunities. Maybe solids might be a bit more favourable. Only saying that because of the 9 ball Gethin.
Yeah, and also has to play forward from the kitchen. Quite a few of the stripes are just a bit hidden up at this bottom end of the table. Do fancy the solids. I think from that last camera angle, the 4 may pass the 8 as well, which would certainly help. If not, she may drop down for the 4 now.
Yeah, I like that. Get it out of the way now. Ball in hand gives you the perfect chance to do that. And there you see she's perfectly straight, which is a bit unfortunate. She can't really do much with this cue ball. She might be a little bit to the right, so she might be able to draw this off the long rail. Just get a little bit closer to something. Let's see how she addresses. Yeah, I think she can just draw this off the long rail and maybe try and get a little bit closer. Oh, she's taking the medicine, so playing maybe the 7 ball, Gethin.
Well, from this angle, no look at the 3. So yes, and I actually liked your shot there. She would have flirted with the side pocket, but would have got better shape on either the 6 or the 3. Caught the 7 thick, Graham.
Yeah, a little bit self-inflicted. Maybe she didn't want to put too much of a stroke on the 4 ball. Don't blame someone for playing it safe, but it did give you a little bit more of a trickier 7. However, Yasmin still has a problem here. Now this 9 ball, just trying to see where she could even move it from. There's not that many options. She's looking at it now. Maybe something from a ball in the side. Not ideal. Is she playing safe here, maybe? Yeah. Well, that double kiss might help. Jump cue could be coming out here, maybe.
Was that an intentional double kiss? If so, that's worked out lovely, Graham.
Well, it definitely has. I don't like the kicking options here. I'd be going for the jump cue. Get over that 8 ball. I'm not sure how good jumping Sinem is, but for me it's a pretty straightforward one. You would think, I think.
Yeah, I also think if she's not that comfortable with jumping, she may just be able to go over the edge of the 8 to play the 1 onto the 7, but she's still got to get that cue ball airborne if she goes that path.
Yeah, I just don't like this kick shot. I don't think the angle's there. Going this way can be deceiving, but it looks like it's going to drift more up table. Not sure what she called. Oh, she tried to play it with bottom and pull it back, and well, that's an absolute nightmare because Yasmin now ball in hand can get straight after this 9 ball. Where does it go, Gethin? Does it go on the side? If it goes on the side, it's going to be really close together with the cue ball. What about the top right, maybe even? That could go as an option.
Do you know what? I don't think it does go in the side. And not enough room to get the cue ball in between the 1 and the 9. So off the long rail in behind the 9 to pop it out, perhaps?
No, I think she's going to play into the 1 ball here, Gethin. Just push the 1 ball out of the way and play the 9 in the bottom left. Ball in hand. I think she can just drop this in and just kind of just nudge the 1 ever so gently. She should be okay. She's gone into the 9. Hasn't really worked out. I kind of like the 1 option only because if she catches the 1, she's pretty much guaranteed to look at the 9. Whereas this way, she's now got a problem.
She's looking at the cut on the 12? No. I'd be...
You see it?
She's looking now off the 14, get some cover.
Yeah, I think it's a bit defensive, if I'm honest. Just left a 3-ball combo here. I kind of like Yasmin going aggressive there. There was a bank on the 9. There was maybe another option, but a missed opportunity there. Ball in hand, you can put the cue ball obviously anywhere. I think she just maybe could rethink that one. Went into the 1 ball. A little bit of a chance here.
Made it. Didn't lock up the 3 or 2.
No, but it was such a big pocket, wasn't it, Gethin? You catch any kind of the rail and you're very unfortunate not to pot it. I mean, she was quite way off making the clean combo, but as you see, a little tap on the table, that she maybe was a bit fortunate, but ooh, I thought she missed that for a moment.
Well, right in front of Yasmin's nose as well. Needs to be particular with the 1 ball. Wouldn't mind drawing back for it now.
Yeah, it could be an option. I think the 8 ball also needs a bit of care, because you can see it does go, well, that's not an ideal angle. Can she run it off 2 rails, get in inside the 9? Don't know if that's completely on. She might track towards the 9. I definitely prefer going forward than back on this shot. Try and find this long rail on the left side. That'll give her at least some options. Punch it across, let the spin do the work. The 8 ball does go on the bottom left and bottom right.
Oh, nice. Very nice. As you said, let the spin do the work. Now, what sort of shape can she get herself on this 8 ball? And what a way to respond to Yasmin winning against her break twice by responding with the same likewise.
Yeah, she's got maybe a 2 railer. Come back towards that 10 ball, I think, in the middle of the table. She's kind of being a bit tentative there. Probably because the angle was going to take her behind the stripes, so left a little bit more pressure on this 8 ball. It's obviously very makeable, but it's one of those shots, Gethin, when you know you've got a ball kind of obstructing the one you're going for. Can put you off a little bit. She could end up missing this on the left side of the pocket, but there's plenty of space. No, there you go. Commentator's curse, sorry.
No, it was tricky, but I understand why she played it softer, because that 12 was lurking, and it would have just been, well, the player's luck to roll up behind that. So the 8 has held in that corner pocket, so Yasmin's going to have to get around that side of the balls to pot them.
Yeah, this would be a pinch as well. She's got a nice angle here. Top this off the short rail. Come down for hopefully a nice angle on this one on the bottom left, or the 9, to get over to the right side of the table. She'd love to find one of those diamonds getting on the right side. All 3 balls go on this left side, so anywhere over. I mean, she pots this 9. If she's not on one of these stripes, I'd be gobsmacked. As long as she doesn't find that bottom rail.
Oh.
Yeah, they go on the side as well. So many options. It's a good shot. Just have to pull this back though.
Or 15, then come back off the 14 around them.
Yeah, possibly. Has to be right, this one though. That's why she's overhit it a little bit on purpose, just to guarantee the angle. Maybe a bit. Well, she's overhit that a bit for me. This is delicate.
Oh, this has to be pocket pace, Graham. She was stretching before and missed a shot.
She's
Great
overcut
line.
it. That's why she's lost the cue ball a touch, maybe. She's on the rail. Can she drop this in and go off the short rail? I don't know if she can. She might have to play below this, Gethin. Oh, she's going to try and punch it. I don't like this. I would roll it in and play the last ball in one of the top corner pockets, maybe. Drop it in.
Man, even if I have to come right around the back of it and play the bank, I prefer that to punching with that cue ball so close to the long rail.
Yeah, right shot. This is still very makeable for Yasmin in the top corner.
Yeah, you said it, Graham. What a pinch this would be.
Just needs to stay down on this. Oh dear, she pushed it. No, I thought she had pushed that to the right, but she was watching it carefully, wasn't she, Gethin? She had a Hawkeyes on that one.
Yes, she did, Graham, and I have to say that was quite a difficult clearance considering where Sinem had left the 8 ball. But that will bring Yasmin to 3-1 in scoreline and will allow Sinem to return to the table and will be looking to start delivering from her break. We also have the men's last 16 going on. You may see some of that action in the background. We have on table 1 Wojciech Szewczak, and he's playing Petri Mäkinen and trailing 2 racks to 5 in that match. And on the other TV table, you'll see Daniel Maciel, and he's winning 6-1 against Roman Hibler. And the other 2 matches I can see right now, Rigeli Dominik 7-5 up on Viktor Fortunski, and an all-Polish affair, Dominik Jastrzęb 4-4 against Misko Fortunski. So many Polish out there, Graham.
Yeah, having a great tournament. Very solid. And one player you mentioned there, Maciol, double gold medalist this week in the European Championships, having an absolute blinder. Playing so well at the moment, as do all the Polish players. Very strong force indeed. But another dry break, I think. Maybe she might need to change something up if she's getting the same result for the last handful of breaks. Yet to find a ball, I think.
Yeah, so far not so good. Now, Yasmin's eyeing up the stripes here. I can only imagine that's because of the 7 and 8. But that 11's a little tricky.
Yeah, I just don't think Yasmin's got a straightforward solid either. So she's clearing the way. She's leaning over a few balls here. This is not ideal. It's very makeable, of course. But I think solids were better, potentially. But maybe she didn't have a straightforward opener. This is going to be a bit of a stretch.
Again, one of the trickier balls in her closing pattern, dealt with at the earliest opportunity. Now her attention turns to that 10 ball. Does have a good angle to come up. She could bump into the 3, that would be ideal. But that 10 ball, maybe she can get an angle past the 4 as well, onto it, into the same corner.
Yeah, she tried to take the medicine in the bottom left corner, didn't she? But kind of quit on it a little bit. Cue ball didn't get where she wanted, so it's a bit of a tester now.
Yeah, and the green stripe doesn't seem to pass the orange. That's going to make positioning a little trickier for her here as well. But first, to make sure of the pot. Well, I think that was just not falling good on that 10 ball. Forced a difficult shot out of Yasmin, but she certainly marches back to her seat quickly.
Should be frustrated there. She wanted to be straight on this 10, so she could kind of roll the cue ball down and try and get on that stripe just below the 8 ball in the bottom right corner. The fact that she was off angle not only made the pot more difficult, but the position also. But a great chance here, but that 7 ball still poses a problem. I think it does go in the top left, Gethin. Past the black, I think it does sneak in. So it's all about just making the puzzle.
Yep, 6 ball into the side pocket. Maybe look to pick the 1 and the 3 off while she's up there.
Yeah, key position's going to be whichever ball she chooses out of the 1 or the 3 last. The angle's going to be really important. Well, she's going to be a little bit off angle on the 3, which means the cue ball's going to have to run up table, I think. I'm not sure if she can hold for the 1. It's probably better reward in taking the 1 ball and going down table from here, to be honest. Could be a better option. Just leave the 3 for now. Oh, she's going to play with side and take the 3 now. This is risky because you have to get the right angle on the 3.
Ooh, might have just got an angle. Maybe it's the wrong
precision. It's a precision shot, Gethin, isn't it? The 5 ball I think she's trying to get on next. But if she overdraws it, this 8 ball could come into play.
She's going to want a similar angle to what she's got now on the 5.
She's maybe got a little bit too much angle. I'm just wondering if she could, well, play a delicate one here and just kind of kill the cue ball, take all the pace out, drop it in, just bounce it off the short rail, kind of play for 2 balls in 1 maybe. She might have a bit too much angle to do that, but just dead weight. How's the pace? She's caught the, it's gone wrong.
Yeah, it has. I felt that needed to have been played a lot more delicately. Looks like if she takes this cut on, she will not make connection with the 12. So the cue ball will be swinging round the angles. Oh, she's taking the 7.
It's got to be the 7, because if she pots the 7, she's going to have a look at her last ball. It's whether she's got the courage to play it dead weight, or she's going to play it with pace. Oh, she's going with pace. Oh, that's a pretty good shot. Oof, chalk on the table, and then he runs into the object wall. That would have been a shame.
That would have been a drama. Now, can drag this to hold for the 8 into the same pocket. Stretching a little. Ooh, nice. Well, Sanem is battling hard. One of Turkey's home hopefuls here in this Euro Tour. Ooh, and she's holding her own against Yasmin Ushan. And while she's here, she's going to use all of the pockets. And why not? Brings the scoreline back to 3-2. And you see a little smile from her there. I think she knew that ball rattled a little bit. A few of them have gone in front of Yasmin's nose.
Yeah, I think maybe her heart was in her mouth for a moment, because she missed the 8 ball in a similar pocket, didn't she, the rack previously, so maybe a little twitchy. It's understandable. These are always big moments. Trying to get into the last 8. 3.5 grand for the winner. Not of this match, but of the women's title, which is not too bad for a payday, Gethin, for doing something you love.
Absolutely not. I'll put my hand up to that as well. It's an absolute pleasure to get to commentate on these world-class matches. Now Sinem has a chance, but it needs to start with the ball dropping, and that too. I'd love to see that on the replay. It span around about 3 times in that pocket before it decided to drop. And well, the difference between 3-3 and 4-2 when handing over the break to Yasmin is going to be immense at this stage of the match, I feel.
Yeah, 100%. But I think even though that ball did drop, I don't think she can go for anything other than maybe a stripe. She's looking at the side. Yeah, I don't know if there's any options in that left side of the table.
I don't know. Is the cut even on the 6 if you wanted to go solids? No, 15 it is.
Well, forced to play. Interesting shot. I think the angle was just not nice at all. She tried to run it around. Left herself another tester. This is this is not easy at all. You would think if this one doesn't go, she will be leaving a pretty wide open table for Yasmin. So a bit of pressure on this one. She could cut it in the side, but she's going to be running into all kinds of balls. She's playing it in the corner though.
Oh, centre pocket, Graham.
Well, that was smooth like butter, wasn't it? Cued it nice. Blow the fingers. Maybe her hand is hotting up, getting shots like that. You got to cool yourself down. That was a great shot.
And now, having a look. What can she get from the 2 here now? You feel that you need to come underneath the 9 and the 12.
Yeah, I wonder if is it the 11 ball just left of the 8 ball. Just wondering if that goes down in the bottom right. She's playing distance, so maybe she was playing for the stripe that's left of the 8 ball, which, okay, I get that, but she was never going to be perfect coming in from this angle. So the 8 ball is going to get bumped. How it's going to be bumped is going to be the question. Is it going to track towards the corner pocket? I hope that's not going to be the case.
Gets a little bounce off the short rail, Graham. There is an angle off this 14 to maybe collide with the 9 here.
I'm just wondering, can she cut this and go into them 2 solids next to the centre pocket? The 8 ball must still go, but can she cut this in and run into the 3 and the 6? Well, she's digging down a little bit, so playing into the 9. Don't know how I felt about that shot. A bit more risky, because this way you're not guaranteed a shot. Bit of a tester again.
I did like your suggestion, Graham. Playing through the gap onto the 3-6. That would have opened up both balls to the left, bottom left pocket. Now, a tricky 12. And no guarantees on the 9 here, unless she can just shuffle over towards the 3.
Yeah, that might be the option. She's overcooked it though. Trying to play what you said, just shuffling over to try and get a shot on this 9. And yeah, I think playing into the 9 wasn't necessarily the worst option, but you know yourself, Gethin, when you run into balls, unless you can guarantee how you're going to run into them, is it really worth the risk? And this table's now chance for Yasmin. All the balls are going. Some pockets are maybe a bit more tricky. This 1 ball is a potential problem. Don't think the 6 goes in the side, Gethin. Well, it probably does, but it's very thin.
couple of options to get around the right hand side of the one ball. Maybe doesn't have the angle now. Off the 5.
I kind of like stopping this dead or drawing it a touch. Maybe get rid of the one next to the 8 ball. Yeah, I like this option. She's got option. She can play into the 1 ball here. If it doesn't go in the bottom right comfortably, draw it into the 1, and you would think that she'd have a look. The only risk of this for me, that 6 ball. If it is possible in the side, I don't mind playing into the 1 here, because you've got that backup ball. As you see, the 5 doesn't go in the top left corner, so that one doesn't give you great options. Yeah, like I said, risky business. She might be lucky in some respects. If she's pretty straight, she could flick this in the top right corner.
Oh, it's not straight, but there is a bit of gap between them.
It's not a bad option, this. Don't think she can hold for the green 6. Maybe. If not, she could play it. I don't know if she can play it thin and go from the right long rail back across the left long rail for the 5 in the top right corner. It's a little bit crazy, but I don't know if she can really hold this, Gethin. Don't see a safety.
No, I don't either. Doesn't look like she's dressing up for a big hit.
Oh, that's a great shot. She judged that well, I think. Well, looking very close.
She can't believe that. I think she's leaked the 9 into the side pocket. It's got to be close, because Sinem has taken a big step back to have a look at it.
A little bit of right spin's going to bend it. Just a touch. Oh, the spin pushed it.
Oh, yeah, it was a touch too much, Graham, and it looks like that one will pass the 8.
Yeah, this is okay. Just full focus on the 1. Put the cue ball on the long rail under the 6 ball, Gethin. Play the 6 ball in the top right and just run through for the 5 in the left centre. That would be my option here.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be Yasmin's option as well. Doesn't need to be concerned with the side pocket now.
Maybe a little bit more angle than she would have liked, but she might just still be able to squeeze this up. Yeah, she's done well there. A little bit of a missed opportunity there for Sinem. I know those little bend shots with a bit of spin can go awry, but it was very makeable.
Yeah, it was, and Yasmin taking this one against the break will bring her to 4-2 in scoreline, and she will get to the table for her set of 2 breaks. Just looks like Sinem is going to take her time out. That will be 4-5 minutes from the arena. So myself, Gethin Davis and Graham Hickman, we two will join, take a quick pause, and we will be back very shortly to bring you the culmination of this last 16 matchup. Don't go anywhere. Well, a warm welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the next instalment of this last 16 matchup between Yasmin Ushan and Sinem Kokten. Yasmin leading 4 racks to 2, now beginning the next set of 2 breaks for herself. My name's Gethin Davis, back in the box with me, Graham Hickman. Well, Graham, Yasmin in a strong position here.
Yeah, it's been interesting so far. Both players may be making a few uncharacteristic mistakes, missing a couple of 8 balls. But that's super interesting what I've just seen there. Yasmin's first breaks were all about the power, and I do think she took quite a bit off that break. Gethin, I don't know what you think, but it was definitely a lot less power than the previous ones.
Definitely. More concerning, and I don't get it, she turned around and walked back to her seat before the balls were even halfway through moving. It's as if she just read the future and went, that's a dry rack, and straight back to her chair. Bit unusual, should we say.
Yeah, I think maybe if you hit that many balls and breaks, you can kind of see the ball. If you miss the 2 balls in the side, and you can sometimes get that cheeky one that goes around the angles in one of the corners. If they're not happening, sometimes the pool eye can say, yeah, it's going to be dry, unless you got a very fortunate roll at the end. But Sinem just taking a bit of time to think about this. I mean, for me, there's no real option other than stripes, because that solid on the right rail just above the centre pocket, that's an absolute nightmare, really. And she does have a stripe to open up with, or a couple. She's taking solids and proving me wrong, Gethin. I'm so surprised. Don't understand that. Maybe only because of the 10 possibly option that could be a problem, but there was 2 balls that she could have easily used to get on that. Keep an eye on this one above the centre. That's going to be the problem.
Well, she must have an idea in the back of her mind on what she's going to do with that 7 ball. Cue ball needs to slow down. Oh, it hasn't. It hasn't. Scratched. Not the result Sinem was looking for. Not the result I thought was going to happen either.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, you could say. Plenty of table to work with. I still think maybe solids were not really the right option, only because of that 1 ball. And I know obviously she's potted a couple of balls, so then it opens these stripes up massively now, but there was 2 real easy options to get on that maybe tricky stripe. Not that it's a problem anymore. So Yasmin has an open table here. Big chance to get to 5. Race to 7. So still a bit of pool left in this match, but you can't afford to make too many more mistakes when you get into this part of the match. As closer you get to the hill, the less chances you're going to get.
Agreed, and Yasmin has 2 breaks, 2 successful breaks, and racks will get her to the hill. And as we alluded to earlier on in this match, Sinem's not going to get that many chances. You feel that was a good one. Now I'm going to make the assumption the 14 passes the 2. The 1 ball is blocking the 13, the orange stripe, into the bottom right corner. But as you can see from this angle, it looks very nice for the side pocket.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying to you about earlier. Making your last ball as easy as possible to get the best position on the 8 ball. That's what she's done here. Just going to drop this one in. Use the long rail, you would think, and just bounce off for a nice straightforward 8 in the bottom left corner.
Yeah, nicely done indeed. Picked that pattern apart very well. And this for 5-2. And we'll have the next break as well. Oh, yeah, we'll have the next break as well. Just waiting for the score to change. And over on the men's event last 16, well, absolute thriller. I've been following Wojciech Szewczak on table 1. That was at 5 apiece against Petri Makinen. Wojciech just taken the lead, 6-5 there. And in the other TV table, Roman Hibbler, Daniel Maciol. Maciol in a, well, commanding 8-2 lead on the hill in that match. Bring it back here. Yasmin with the second of her 2 breaks. This could take her to the hill and really ask a big question of Kokten. But as we saw in the last break, not necessarily getting the best results, Graham. So let's see what happens this time.
That's more like it. Much more power. I think that last break was a misjudgment. Or maybe, I don't know, she was trying something different, but look at those solids. I just caught a glimpse of that one over the right side pocket. I think it's fine. She's got a nice 5 ball. I'd like to get rid of that 5 ball and that 7 ball straight away, but 7 ball also gives an option to get on the 8 if she needs to leave it. Lovely break.
Yeah, very nice. And as you picked up on, the green 6 just bounced off that long rail enough, although it seems enough. The side pockets can be deceiving, but I would assume that Yasmin will take your advice, and she is getting rid of that 7 straight away. May even draw back to try and get rid of that 6 as well after this.
Yeah, I just think that 7 ball down the line could cause a problem if she was to land funny on it. She's got a couple of balls over the centre pocket, which are quite nice connectors to the black. Yeah, she might play the 3 or the 6 option here. I do like playing the 3, maybe with a 1, maybe a combo on the 1 could be an option, because they look pretty straight. But she's going to come down for the 6 here. Maybe finish off with that combo, Gethin.
Yeah, it looks pretty nicely dressed up for her here. Although, she may just choose to play off this 6 to the 2 next.
Well, oh, no, I've just totally misjudged. There's a 4 ball at the top of the table, Gethin. Totally just didn't see that one in my eyes. Yes. You know, sometimes as a commentator you just forget about a ball. Yes, the 1 up table, of course. She's just going to play that one second last ball and come down for the 1 at the end. Makes total sense. Total commentators miss eye. Missed that one completely.
Doesn't happen often, Graham, and you will be forgiven. Fortunately, Yasmin was able to remember it was there, or rather spotted it, and this to the 1 will not need to do much with the cue ball at all. Doesn't want to, well, straight will be okay, but I'm sure she'd wanted just a little bit of angle to float down a ball or 2. This strong stuff, Graham.
Yeah, was it all about that ball at the top of the table that made all the difference? Otherwise I wouldn't have said the combo. But yeah, she's taking them balls very well indeed. I think that 6 ball with a little bounce as the rack ended just to go in that centre pocket changed everything, because as you know, similar to the previous rack with Sinem, she had a ball on that rail which they're just so awkward in that spot, aren't they, Gethin? They're just hard to get on and can be more tricky than they look on the camera.
Yeah, and if you leave it towards the end of your pattern, it just puts that bit more pressure on it. And talking of pressure, Graham, Yasmin now on the hill, Sinem to start off her set of 2 breaks. She's in a must-win situation now. And following that great break and run from Yasmin, she now finds herself in pole position, you'd feel, in this match. The 1 ball's down. And look at that 14-3 cluster. Can she play the 4 onto it now if she wants to go solids? Might be an option.
Yeah, that could be a good shot, actually. Still needs to control what happens next. I think if you can get rid of this problem, do it now when you've got plenty of balls on the table to work with. I kind of like playing this maybe with a little bit of pace. I'm not saying whack the ball, but just don't be too soft on this one. You want that solid to come away. Well, a little bit more pace for me there.
Yeah, she played the 4 off the right side. But that 14 just hasn't given it much room at all. Now, looks pretty straight on the 6. She's having a look at what she can get an angle on to get into it. I don't know if potting the 6. Does the 7 pass the 11? Ooh, that looks not on. No, it doesn't. Not by a long way. So, still tricky for Sinem here.
Yeah, and this is going to get more tricky by the moment. This looks thin in the top left corner. Just having a little look. Cues going to run to the right side of the table, you would think. Yeah, I'm kind of struggling a little bit here, Gethin. I think she might be trying to leave an angle on the orange 5 to do something. Might be the last chance option. Playing it slow to try and leave something. Well, how about that for a gap? Does she have anything to work with? If she does, that's quite remarkable.
Yeah, I actually felt she was going to go into that with a bit more premise, and she played that dead weight. Has found a shot on this 5, but it's all going to come down to the angle she's got. Well, I can see the 7. Two bank shots coming up.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Can't you play it? Is the solid too far up the rail? Nah, she can't play it off the solid, maybe. Try and play it in off. This is really tricky. I don't think that was really on.
Well, it wasn't far away, and I did fancy having a crack at the reverse bank on the 4 into the other left corner pocket, but that 14 now has to be dealt with because it's stuck down by them 2 balls. Does provide good cover for Yasmin if she wants to put Sinem in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, if Yasmin wants to go all-out attack for the match, she could go for a bank on this one straight away. I mean, obviously, you're putting all your eggs in one basket, and if you miss it, you're going to lose the rack. But if you make it, could be the match. I mean, if she plays a safety shot, she's going to have to get the cue ball right over to that right-hand long rail.
We made that. A little nick on the 10. 10's available. What could she be thinking, Graham?
Well, I mean, it's one of those ones, even if she can get a good safety. I mean, she could play safe here. But if she goes for game, then she's going to have to try to... I mean, could she play a loss of turn shot here and just pot the 7 with her stripe and put the cue ball on the right-hand side rail, Gethin? I like that shot. Put Sinem in a whole world of trouble. Pot the 7 here. Oh, how about this shot, Gethin? She's got the legs.
Well, there is a shot. Cross bank, off the long rail. Anything off low side of the 4, you feel that the 7 should drop. A little wry smile from Sinem there.
Yeah, but this is also do or die, because if she hits something, well, there you go. She's going to pot her own ball, maybe. So Yasmin might still play that shot again, put the cue ball on the bottom rail, or even play this thin. Could even play a similar shot. Try and pot that solid over the hole. And try and get some cover with the cue ball. Could even play this on the bottom side of the stripe and push the stripe up against the solid and leave it on the bottom short rail. Yeah. Always going to be in trouble, Sinem here.
Ooh. Now, do we have any one pocket specialists in the comment section? I'm sure one of them will pick up a way somehow to get something off this 4. But looking at it from the overhead, Graham, that looks kind of bleak.
Yeah, Sinem's in all kind of trouble here, because even if she can play thin off the edge and just do something, Yasmin's in total control. There you see, I mean, Yasmin's going to play another safety option. She can flick off this and get the rail, even play the 9 ball if she chooses. I mean,
I
could
actually
just be a
don't mind
hit.
it. Yeah, take the 9 ball on, freeze the cue ball. I do fancy playing the 14 down onto the 4 to pot the 12 and leave the 14 over the corner pocket. Sort of got that lended about it shape. No, who am I? Might see an edge here.
Yeah, but it's not going to help either way, Sinem, because it's only going to compound issues. I mean, unless she can play some kind of nice loss of turn shot here, trying to get the cue ball in a good cover position. Yasmin might have gave her a little bit of a sniff here, because this solid's going to go to the rail. And if she can get some cover, it just means that she might have another chance to come back to the table. I'm surprised she played it that way, to be honest. Unless that's all she could see. But Yasmin is a bit of a chess master on the pool table, Gethin. She's got her right where she wants her, to be honest. And she'll be wanting to win this rack and not take any silly mistake, any silly chances. Just turn the screw. She's in full control here.
Yeah, Yasmin has the ability to maneuver balls very well and very thoughtfully, as you implied, chess-like. More importantly, she has the patience as well.
Yeah, it's just one of those situations where the person on solids is so behind in terms of options. Yasmin knows that there's no need to take any kind of risk. Kind of feel, I don't know, is it a bit crazy to say it this way, but I kind of feel like as soon as she gets an opportunity to go for something a bit crazy, it might be worth the risk, because at some point she's going to find herself in a lot of trouble. Well, here's Yasmin's chance. Open table, pretty much ball in hand.
Yeah, if that cue ball had tracked somewhere down near the 9, may have made the run out impossible for Yasmin, but you can just imagine the next shot would have put Sinem again in trouble. Yasmin Ushan with this opportunity to take the match at this visit and a place in tomorrow morning's quarterfinals. Just a quick note, we already have a result in from one of the 4 remaining last 16 matches. De Rosva, 7-3 win over the Portuguese player Vânia Franco. Yasmin with this 4 ball, with the 15 ball to kick back out for the 11, avoids the 4. Well, Graham, solid performance from Yasmin, you'll have to say. Sinem has had a few more chances than she would normally get from Yasmin, but wasn't able to convert them.
Yeah, chances that if she had taken could have been very different. But Yasmin playing a pretty solid chess game here in this last rack, and a bit low on the 8, but shake of the head. But she should be fine, really. Cue ball's not going anywhere of any danger.
Absolutely, Graham, and a big smile from Yasmin. We hadn't seen a smile for a little while, and a shake of the hands with Sinem Kokten. Sadly, that is the end of her Turkiye Open. Yasmin Ushan, well, she's got the evening now to recover here at the Miracle Resort. She will be back tomorrow morning, and that will be at 10 AM local time for the quarterfinals, both men's and women's kicking off. As you notice, our other TV tables have come to a close. Wojciech Szewczak is through with a win over Petri Mäkinen, and Danny Maciel is through over Roman Hibbler. For more scores, please do visit EPBF.com. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you all for joining us. My name's Gethin Davis, my colleague Graham Hickman, a big thank you. We look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.